I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
And they give those guys a little extra weight. Roger Craig, still on his feet, still running. What a run by Roger Craig. You'll never see a better one than that. From 46 yards. He has that thing of getting those knees high and keeping the shoulders low. And he makes every team look like they're bad tacklers. Watch the way he gets that high knee action, keeps those feet going like two pistons. Then, at the same time that the knees are going high and keeping going, the shoulder can get low to take on a tackler.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait.
Are you kidding me? Do you believe it?
Good morning. Welcome to the Whack Wednesday edition of Snowman in the Morning. A Pizzle and Ben Sutterth. Good morning to you. Welcome. And I am going to have so much fun today. Cole Johnson in just a second. He's the video EP. So how are you guys doing today? Lots to get to. Patrick Voss will join me at the bottom of hour 2, and Scoop Miller will join me at the top of hour 2 to talk more women's basketball, especially the Final Four, which has now been set. For the men, it's Kansas, it's Duke, it's Villanova, and it's North Carolina, a team I picked against in the first round of my bracket. A little bit of a health update. This is a day for me that is starting off well, because normally you see me with a big fat cup of coffee in front of me. I decided to go without it today. I've decided to go without caffeine to see how it feels, and if I can get back to a point in my life where I didn't depend on caffeine to get me through. And then I know caffeine is a drug, okay? I know caffeine is a drug. You know, it's disguised in different great tasting drinks, but like any other drug, if I didn't touch any of the other drugs, A Pizzle, good morning to you, then I can do without caffeine. I can do without any foreign substance in my life. Let me answer. Ben, the intro did have a 90s feel to it because it was Street Fighter, the Balrog theme, which is the theme I am using to get us into today. As I mentioned, I'm waiting for Cole Johnson to come in. He should be in here in just a moment. You know, I gotta pose a question, okay? And I watched the lunch break with AJ yesterday, a fabulous show. If you're catching us live on the YouTube channel, Snowman in the Morning 50, drop a like and subscribe. Welcome to those of you watching on BS3 TV on a Roku, and those of you listening via Real Wise Radio and SDM Sports Radio. You know something? I must admit, I don't watch the NBA as much as I once did because there's a lot missing. But last night, the Lakers traveled to Dallas to play the Dallas Mavericks. And there was no pride shown by the Lakers in that game. That's why I led with the statement. I've watched lunch break with EJ yesterday. I caught part of that, and he mentioned the word pride also. After what I saw last night, I saw no pride in that Laker team. And considering the fact that they have 44, now 45 losses on the season. I think that's right. I called at the top of the season, and it was not because I don't like the Lakers. It was because of the lack of chemistry that I saw with the hand-picked lineup LeBron put together. I said they weren't going to win 40 games. And Kendrick Perkins and a lot of these ESPN folks, I cussed, I'm sorry. And a lot of these ESPN folks were saying there's a possibility they could win 70. Where? How? Do you see this team? Do you see these guys? Last night illustrated everything I do not like about the NBA, except for certain teams that I watch and cover, about the NBA in general. There is no pride with the Los Angeles Lakers. None. None, none, none. And I repeat, none. How are you going to sit there and tell everybody you're going to win 70 games when you're not even going to compete within your own division, number one? And number two, there is no chemistry in this ball club. You want me to say it again? I'll say it again. There is no chemistry on this ball club. None. And you know the sad part? It gets worse and worse and worse and worse. It has gotten worse over the course of the last two seasons, even though last season they won 50 plus games. They wound up in the play-in round. They wound up it was 2020 where they won 50 games. I apologize. They wound up in the play-in round last year. They're not even going to sniff the playoffs this year. And I'll go back to that 5-letter word. There's no pride in this ball club. You saw it last night when they got blown to smithereens by the Dallas Mavericks. They got blown to bits. I didn't even have to watch the entire game to know how this one was going to turn out. And Cole made a comment on Facebook, which is so true. As soon as it was known that LeBron wasn't playing, yeah, they're taking an L. They're taking a big fat L, and they seem to have taken a lot of them lately. And AD is close to making a return. Why? Shut him down for the remainder of the season because you're not going to do well in the play-in round if you make it that far. In fact, I will be bold enough to predict that they will not win another game this year. LeBron or no LeBron. LeBron or no LeBron. They will not win another game this year. They lost last night. The Lakers did 128-110. 128-110. You know, this is before the Lakers decide to outscore the Mavericks by 11 points in the fourth quarter. You know, this is a 30-plus point game. It was horrible. The Mavericks put up 82 points in the first half. Oh, y'all didn't hear me. Let me say it again. 82 points in the first half. I've seen it happen to my teams. I've seen it happen against my teams. 82 points in the first half. That's as bad as some time ago the Knicks allowing 51 points in the third quarter against the same Laker club. And they didn't even have half the supposed star power then. I mean, it was bad. It was bad. I mean, 82 points in the first half. It just seemed like every opportunity that the Mavericks had to get out on the break and run, they did. It was horrid. Let me go through the scoreboard from last night before I continue. This is the Michael Scott Insurance scoreboard. Bulls over the Wizards, 107-94. Bucks beat the 76ers, 118-116. And I got a note about that. Nets by 7 over the Pistons, 130-123. I already mentioned the Lakers Mavericks score, and the Clippers come from 25 down to beat the Jazz, 121-115, with the aid of Donovan Mitchell calling a timeout that they didn't have. Oops. And that is a that's a clue for me for the playoffs. That's a clue for the playoffs because it happened last year. Cole Johnson now joins me. Let me try that again. Cole Johnson now joins me. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you, sir. How are you?
You know, you said this before very, very eloquently, and it requires being said again.
All right.
Even though LeBron was not in the lineup, once again, the Lakers took a big fat L. And I made a prediction a moment ago. They will not win again.
Also, you're going further than what national media now is starting to embrace, which is since the Lakers have the toughest schedule in the league remaining, that more than likely they won't make the playoffs. You're saying they won't win another game.
They won't win another game.
And here's what will boost your
games left.
And here's
there are
what's
6 games left in the Lakers season.
And here's what will boost your point. Here's what will booster and bolster your point. Those 6 games, 5 of the 6 are against playoff caliber teams, if you count the Pelicans as a playoff team. So, so you have that. You have LeBron who's limping, and can't really go technically. AD is Mr. Glass. Westbrook is up and down, and they're trusting Malik Monk to be the guy. What's up, Ivan? Yeah, they're trusting Malik Monk to be the guy.
You know,
yeah, it's not looking good.
No, Malik Monk should have never signed that contract with the Lakers. Ever. He should have never put his name on that dotted line. And Taylor Horton Tucker, why did y'all keep him?
Well, they thought he was going to be basically what they wanted Kyle Kuzma to be, and well, LeBron said he wasn't going to pan out, and so he was supposed to be the next man up to them, and he fits more of the Kentavious Caldwell Pope model than he does the next big thing.
Yeah, and Kuzma's doing well with the Bullets.
And meanwhile,
I said
Kuzma
it right. Washington Bullets.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Kuzma is living his best life in Washington. I was invited on a show Monday, and shout out to you, Freddie Henderson. Freddie's Facts, and also shout out to the ASAT Network, All Sports, All Plays.
Yes,
I was on the show, and the second topic we talked about was, would the Lakers make the playoffs? And I said, with the fact that you have an old unit, the fact you have an old unit, and the fact that you have your only real elite player in his prime who is hurt, and you cross your fingers hoping he'll get back, and he might get back, and then 3 games later he may go back out again. You have LeBron LeBron who's limping through the season. He'll give you the inspired 56-point performance, and then all of a sudden something else will go wrong with him. It could be the ankle, it could be the foot, it could be the knee, but it will be something. And I
it's
love
hard,
Freddie. It is hard. I love Freddie, but he how you doing, Ryan? But he
What's up?
Yeah, go ahead and hit the quote button. He said,
Wait, wait a minute. Let me. I see. All right, ready, set, go.
quote, I'm going to invite you, talking about me, and many others who were saying that the Lakers aren't going to make the playoffs. And when they beat the Suns in the first round, you all will be invited back on this show to eat your humble pie. I won't say nothing, but you will have to eat your humble pie when the Lakers beat the Suns. Close quote. I said to him, the best ability is availability. And you're talking to a team that is not available. It just isn't happening, man. And he went on to say, well, I have faith. You can have all the faith in the world you want. The Lakers play as if they don't have faith, and that's what matters most. They're playing like they're a losing team, and they are.
Mm-hmm.
They just are.
I mentioned the 5-letter word at the top of the show while I was waiting for you to come in. Mm-hmm. It's a 5-letter cuss word to the Lakers. You know what that word is? Pride.
Wait a minute. That's a word I think
have no pride.
I think
that they have.
Yeah, they don't have pride in the right area. They have pride though, but it's not in the right area. Like they have pride in the fact that they believe their individual talents will get them over. They have pride that they have success. They have pride that they could be a season triple-double winner. They have pride that they can be the best offensive player in the game. They have pride that they will win scoring titles in lieu of the fact that team sucks, but it was built to win a team championship. That's a take I heard late last night and early this morning. That LeBron is sitting out because he wants to protect his scoring average lead, and so he can have a scoring title. What does it matter? He has a scoring title, and the team doesn't go to the playoffs. So he wants to have the moniker of oldest man to win a scoring championship in the NBA. Who gives a crap? Did your team at the end of that year that you won win the championship? The answer is no. It doesn't matter.
Invoking Michael Jordan fact here. Every year Michael Jordan won the scoring title, the Bulls went to the playoffs.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And beginning in 1991,
won it all.
Every year Michael Jordan won the scoring title, they won it all.
Mm-hmm. Now
yeah.
Okay. Now if that was tied to it, like the fact that he was able to score or amass however many points per game, and it helped the team actually go to levels that they wouldn't if that output wasn't put forth, then I'd say, okay, then that is a legitimate goal to reach because he's helping the team out, scoring as many points as he does. But he's putting these points up and the team still loses. Or he's putting these points up, the team ekes out victories. What point does that serve? Am I seeing something? Am I seeing, even with his ego, am I seeing something that am I not seeing something I should? Because I can counter if he says it feeds his ego and saying, I thought winning championships fed your ego, but the scoring championship means nothing. Who gives a crap about a scoring championship?
I'm going to repeat.
If it doesn't make the playoffs.
I'm going to repeat a sentence I said yesterday. And is it going to get on a lot of people's nerves? It most certainly is. Do you think I care at this moment? No. But given last night, my statement is justified. Actually, two statements of mine are justified.
Okay. Two
LeBron
statements.
James has no heart. And the second statement that I said yesterday, and let me do this the right way.
Oh no.
LeBron James is straight up pure trash as a basketball player.
Wow.
Close quote.
He's straight up trash.
I love you dearly, brother. I do. He is straight up hot garbage. Mike Francesa with his New York accent, I love him dearly. I will borrow from him when he went in on the Jets. I've never seen a player act like such garbage.
Not
Garbage. You are garbage. Garbage.
The R is gone.
You were afraid to play against Joel Embiid. You were afraid to play against Joel Embiid because you knew you were going to get that work. And you're afraid to play against Luka because you knew you were going to get that work again. Garbage. Since 2010, LeBron James has been straight up hot trash.
So this is supposed to be,
and this is with the Miami years included. So
this is supposed to be the greatest player to ever throw on sneakers. This guy who
Julian Serving gets there first for me.
The guy who picks and chooses his spots now in this age in his career as to when to play, how to play, and against whom he plays. But we have evidence of many other players who came before him who, whenever they looked on the other side and there was a guy who brought in the people, they said, this challenges me. This gets my competitive juices flowing. I want to show that I'm better than him. Am I missing something?
No.
But they want to log.
Am I missing something in my statements?
No. And it's funny to me that they want to say this is the guy. And the thing is, this is what I love about you, sir, because you get me too. You're all about that nuance. So people will probably hear you say, well, LeBron is trash as a basketball player, and think either he's trash as a human being, or his whole game sucks, or he does not know how to play basketball. And that is not what you're saying.
You know, that's not what I'm saying.
You're saying that
is not what I'm saying.
Right. You're saying that if this guy is supposed to be on the Mount Rushmore of people's lists of NBA's greatest of all time, if he's supposed to be the guy who is the elite standard in today's era and an elite standard in any era, then he has to have the same characteristics of a Will Chamberlain, a Bill Russell, a Kareem, a Dr. J, a Jordan, a Bird, a Magic, a Kobe, even Allen Iverson. He has to have that dog in him. He has to feel that spirit of competition. He wants to look at that opponent and say, I want to crush you because you exist. And you don't see that in him. Yeah, Isaiah Thomas. And you don't. Right. And you don't see that in him. You see more along the lines of, it's a kumbaya thing. It's a celebration of all of our talents. Although behind your back, I'm going to say I'm better than everybody else. But when you put two eyes on me, it's a kumbaya thing because all of us all of us share, because that's how I am. I am like the point guard of life. I give you assists just because my presence is there, and that's good to a degree, but that's not good in other degrees. And when you see him not be fundamentally sound in so many different places in his game, that's where the statement of LeBron James is trash comes into play.
You said the F word. Say it again. I allow you to cuss today. Say it again.
When you see in LeBron James's game that the lack of fundamentals is there time after time after time again, that is where the statement of LeBron James is trash comes into play. Because the best are about the fundamentals. They just are.
Mm-hmm. And I'll repeat something I said yesterday. If I were Dwayne Wade, I'd cut off my friendship with him.
Well, he would, but he
came
made
in
too
my
much
house
money with him.
You come in the house for 4 years and you blow up my house? Yeah, we both need a cuss jar, Ryan.
Yeah, how
Contribute
dare
to the
I?
cuss jar by donating via PayPal. How dare we say the word fundamentals?
Fundamentals.
How dare we say the word jump shot?
Yes.
How dare we say the C word, chemistry or camaraderie?
Yeah.
How dare we say the T word, teamwork?
Yeah. How dare we say the H word, heart? Yeah.
Yes. Here's a thought. Is it possible the sporting realm has been played with narcissists in this generation of athletes? It's not. It's not a possibility. It's a fact.
Mike Sick. Yes.
Hey,
100,
Sick,
bro.
I'll answer
that
your
mic.
question.
Oh my gosh.
It's not a possibility. It's happened.
It's a reality. Yeah.
It's happened. And we see one every doggone night when he decides to show up.
Now you should now that's another issue there too. If ever you call to the carpet that LeBron James is a narcissist, you know that will anger bronsexuals, because they would be willing to say, they would just point the assist total and say, he's not a narcissist. It's not about him. It's about the team. No, it's not.
Do you see the look on my face?
No, it's not. Yeah, I do. And you're right to have that look on your face. No, it's not. The dimes, the assists, the rebounds, the dimes, the rebounds, and the points, and the players he gets on his teams that he's the GM of, it's all about him. It has been all about him ever since his first stint in Cleveland. It is about him now.
And this year just provides more of the proof. Ryan McCarthy, yes, it's because it's more about their brand and the dopamine from social media than it is about the name on the front of the jersey.
I love that dopamine.
Drop that
hit.
mic, Ryan.
Yes, I love that dopamine hit.
They come to greatness, but at the detriment of the sport as a whole. I've seen it in MMA.
Right.
Thank you, Sick Diggy. Absolutely correct. Both of y'all drop that mic.
Right.
When the comments come in, we'll see one where you got to create a graphic for drop the mic, because I got the feeling we're going to be using that a lot.
All right.
Well, since it's Wednesday, and since we led with the lack of heart that LeBron James has.
Oh, we weren't in the segment
say it again,
yet.
Freddie.
Oh, okay.
We're not even, no. I led with the team. Or lack thereof segment of the fakers.
Oh, okay. And you will be correct. Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's why I brought up last night's game, because I said 2 5-letter words. Hey, Ryan, open the cuss jar. I said 2 5-letter words: pride and heart. And the Lakers have neither. And while I'm thinking it, and while I'm about to do it, neither does this guy.
In a world where partial greatness is celebrated and total greatness is shunned, there stands to be a figure on the lips of those who love him and those who hate him. The inane comparisons to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant continue and has existed since 2003. There is no end in sight, for the battle between those who unconditionally love and unconditionally hate him wages on. These are their stories. Welcome to the Bronzexual Confessions.
Now then, I am going to upset a lot of bronzexuals, and I don't care. And by the way, yesterday or late last night, I sent you the goodies.
I did see that.
LeBron James, as a basketball player, is pure, unadulterated hot garbage and has been that way since 2009. That's the first statement I'll start with. Why do I say since 2009? I explained it yesterday. You were supposed to take that ascension step into immortality. And instead, you got spanked by the Orlando Magic in the Eastern Conference Finals. And it upset you so much so that you walked off the floor without shaking hands. Every bronzexual cried their hearts out when they saw their hero walk off the floor without shaking hands. Idiots. Then there was 2010. 66 wins. And they once again got spanked by the Boston Celtics.
Oh, Lord.
We saw LeBron James take his Cavalier jersey off for the final time after Game 6 in Boston. Then he went to Miami and got smacked by Pat Riley into his place in line. Then he returns to Cleveland. And then he's time to repeat any parts of that story. Which leads to this.
Oh, no.
So I had a... And these bronzexuals are straight up, flat out, 100% idiots. I have resigned myself from swearing on the program, so I will politely use the word idiots.
Not politely.
Oh, politely. Politely. You know as well as I, you're the one that started this wonderful award-winning segment.
Thank you, sir.
That these bronzexuals are straight up, pure, 100% idiots. They are fools. For them to even think to this moment with 44 losses on the season that they are going to somehow escape the play-in round. Riddle me the bronzexuals. Are you actually going to get into the play-in round? You know, Freddie, I love you, but invite us back onto your show to eat a slice of humble pie after they beat the Phoenix Suns in a playoff round. Let me explain something to you, Freddie, and the ASAP network, a wonderful network, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
First and foremost, the Lakers have 44 losses on the season. And after Christmas, your 70 win theory was blown to smithereens.
70 wins.
Well, in a moment. And Sick Diggy just said it best. LeBron is only about LeBron. He feels, not thinks, entitled to have a team built around him. First of all, Diggy, drop the mic. Second of all, I contribute to the cuss jar for saying entitled. We're going to have fun with this cuss jar. Somehow I see a graphic going toward it. Somehow I see it. Back to business. Freddie, you and many other bronzexuals still have the belief, with only 31 wins on the year, that y'all are going to sneak into the play-in round, and are of the theory that all you have to do is get in. Well, do me a favor, will you please?
Oh no.
Stop the cap. Just stop. Just it doesn't work that way. It works on how your team operates. And to you bronzexuals, your team is trash. Your team is 100% straight up hot fueling trash. And why am I getting all this off my chest? Well, one, because it's fact, and two, because I love to see y'all circling the drain with your Kang, who isn't the king, by the way.
Circling the drain.
I love seeing it. Oh, yeah. They're Kang. They're Kang.
You love to see that Kang circling the drain.
They're Kang circling the drain. For all you bronzexuals that seem to think that the Lakers are somehow, some way, by a miracle act of God, going to get into the play-in round, or shall I say, sneak into the play-in round.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Rick couldn't wait to say that.
I may have been off by a few seconds, but I don't care. I don't care. You understand me, folks? You understand me, bronzexuals? I don't care. Okay, this is a time and space where I need to go. Doggone it. I think I just gave my cue away. Listen, bronzexuals, it's not going to happen. And yes, they have their championship with him, but they will win more championships without it. See, I put LeBron and Kyrie in the same boat. The teams are better without him. Unfortunately, you know what? I'll save the Irving reference for later. This is all about bronzexuals and their idiocy. They want to apologize to LeBron. Okay? They want to apologize and saying, "We are sorry, King James. The Lakers are just not good enough to play with you." Wrong. The Lakers are not good enough because of him. Bubble championship notwithstanding, this Laker team, this Laker franchise, let me go one step further. And Cole, I want you to use this. I'm looking dead into the camera as I say this. LeBron's tenure in Los Angeles has put the franchise of the Lakers in ruins because of him.
Well, let me look for something here. No, let me see. Nobody. No. Let me see. No. I can't find the lie.
Thank you.
Can't.
I'll say it. I will say it again. And listen carefully, Bronzexuals. The Laker franchise is in ruins. Not peril, not jeopardy, ruins. Because of LeBron. And for you Bronzexuals that seem to think he's still going to save the franchise, I have 3 words.
You big dummy.
And we thank you for this.
The Lakers have a way better chance of winning a championship.
Read it.
Okay. The Lakers have a way better chance of winning a championship with Liz Cambage instead of LeBron James.
That loud thud you Bronzexuals just heard, that was a microphone drop.
I can't dispute any of that. I can't dispute a syllable of that. Because at least she has heart. I mean, I can't dispute any of that.
So, as we have said, Bronze, and since this is a Bronzexual confession, I'll repeat my statement. I'll repeat 2 of my statements. Number 1, basketball player LeBron James is pure unadulterated trash. And 2, every team he has been with winds up in ruins because of him.
What I find amazing about that second statement you said, what I find amazing about this experience is that we have seen 3 other instances, and we're going to see a 4th, where the very next year after LeBron leaves the team is exponentially worse than it was before he left. And I'll give the Cavaliers kudos for the second time he left the Cavaliers in tatters. They saw the handwriting on the wall, and it's like, okay, we're going to prepare for this idiot when he leaves. So we're going to start by some draft picks, and we're going to scour for some really good talent. And we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back as good, if not better, than we were in circa 2018. And here we are 4 years later, and now they're competing for a playoff spot.
Better than what LeBron's doing.
Kudos to them. Yes. Meanwhile, LeBron is languishing in, well, below average play. And people could say that, well, LeBron is still boogieing. He's still getting Dan. He's still getting his points. He's still going off. It's just the rest of the team.
First of all, LeBron's not boogieing, not with that team. Second of all, he ain't getting down. You can show me all the 30-point performances that he has. C. Wood, y'all mispronounce Frank Vogel. That's everyone is telling me has the Lakers in ruins. Wrong.
No,
and I think C. Wood knows that's wrong because of
the moment Frank Vogel signed the L on that contract to be the Lakers head coach, he knew the clock was ticking before he was going to get fired. He was hired to be fired.
Listen,
ink wasn't
had the
dry
Lakers
on the
not
contract.
won in the bubble, Had the
Yeah, he'd been
Lakers
out
not
now.
won in the bubble, he was gone.
He'd be
was
gone now if
gone.
they didn't win the bubble. Mhm.
And that's a false championship. Oh, can I preach again, please? Can I preach again?
I'll let you preach because I want to backdoor that with a statement that the Kang said about that.
Oh, go for it. And
What?
while I'm thinking about it, let me do this.
Go ahead,
Let
hit
me
it.
let me do this properly. Hit it.
Quote: the two toughest championships in NBA history were 2016 and 2020. 2016 because we beat a 73-win team. 2020 because of the conditions that was called the bubble. Close quote. And with that, my friend, the floor is yours.
Okay.
How can I PG what I want to really say? By Brian Snow.
My wife would co-sign that one. Because my next paragraph has so many bleeps in it, it's not even funny. Not sentence, paragraph. 2016 because of the what?
Well, because they beat the all-time greatest team in regular season history. The 73-9 win team. There has never been a team that has won as many games in a season than the 2016 Golden State Warriors. So that was a magnanimous feat for the kid from Akron and his gang to defeat the mighty Goliath of the Warriors.
You're a stupid dumbass.
Do y'all know how many blanks I have in my next sentence? LeBron, you better had won that series because you put them in that situation in the first place. You traitor. You dry snitch. You dry snitching blankety blank bleep bleep bleep.
Dry snitch. Wow.
You know as well as anybody, had you not opened your mouth and put your foot in it, y'all would have gotten your asses kicked in Game 5 in Oakland, California. ...2012 when he beat the best big three ever. Best big three ever. Oh, C. Wood, you want me to go in? I'll say that for a moment from now.
Yeah, that's our boy. That's our boy.
And then 2020, the conditions, you rat stirred. You had 4 months off.
And to Ryan's point,
you double crossing, double dealing.
Oh, and to Ryan's point, I agree.
I'm not gonna cuss.
The fact that they did not have to travel and they got a chance to play every other day. They were in a routine. And I get they weren't able to see their family end, but they were in a routine where they got a chance to play every other day.
I will not cuss. I will not cuss. I will not swear. I will not cuss. I will not cuss. I will not swear. I will not swear. I will not cuss. I will not cuss. I will not cuss. I will not cuss.
Oh no. Reverting back to when you're in 10.
I mean,
I can't stand you, Seawood. Stop climbing my head, man.
Seawood, I hate you for pulling that thought out of our heads.
For verbatim, that is what I would say. Verbatim.
Yes. 4 months of
mental anguish. Oh.
Okay. Now I'm really gonna preach.
Okay.
You want mental anguish? Hey, you want mental anguish? How about being in an abusive relationship? You want mental anguish? How about finding out you've been diagnosed with cancer in the back door when they were taking blood clots out of your chest at the front door? I'll stop there. Because if I keep going, I will swear. And if my children were looking at me right now, they would be pointing at me.
Oh my. Oh yes,
Daddy. No.
Oh yes, see what I totally forgot about 2012. That was also a wonderful championship year because yes, Durant, Westbrook, Harden trio. Yes, he beat them in 5 games. Yes, how dare I forget about that particular championship?
See,
they were pups, all 3 of them.
Now I'm gonna go sound crazy. Where is it? I know. Here it is. Best big 3 ever.
You big dummy.
I found that one purely by accident yesterday. So you have a present.
I see.
But LeBron James is trash and bronsexuals are worse. Period. Why are bronsexuals worse? Because they truly believe that he changed lives. Because they truly believe that he gets his players great contract. Because they truly believe. I know I'm going to regret this, but I'm going to do it. Because they truly believe that he would clap their cheeks.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Begging. They're begging for him to clap their cheeks. Yes. Begging
for him to clap their cheeks on one end and spoil them with joy juice on the other end. Next.
I mean, all of his 100 millions follower.
Not 100 million followers, folks. Not 100 million followers. That was an accident. 100 millions follower. And as a bronsexual explained to me.
Oh no, you got this explained? Oh Lord, okay, I got to hear this.
A bronsexual explained to me, if you want to call it an explanation.
Okay.
That 30, 10, and 10 not only qualify. Wait, I did it wrong. LeBron Sexual explained it to me in this fashion. Quote. and 10 not only qualifies him to be the greatest of all time, but he's already the greatest of all time.
Oh, Lord. Close quote. What a crock of crap. That mother.
Thank you. This stupid fish-eyed fool. This stupid, incompetent. There's a word. Incompetent. This stupid, incompetent, fish-eyed fool. Yeah, I brought in Esther.
I bet what?
An answer to that, Wood. I wish I had flopping, traveling.
I've seen that before. I love it.
Not hitting 80% of his free throws.
Once in any season.
Yeah. His career free throw percentage is 74%. His highest is 78. His lowest is 67. Meanwhile, Larry Bird shot 78% of his free throws halfway through his freshman year and then increased his percentage. Fool.
Did the 50-40-90 twice. And LeBron hadn't done it once.
You know a shooting guard that's done 50-40-90 before Steph Curry? His name is Mark Price.
That dude was lethal. Oh my gosh.
So don't tell me what LeBron is the greatest at, because he's not great at anything, as my partner duly explained and wonderfully explained. Jack of all trades, master of none. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is that.
In a world where logic and sense flies completely out the window, while purple and yellow glasses are donned, rises a figure who encourages ridiculous, undying loyalty.
His stats, his skin.
Good Lord, I'm about to throw up. This has been yet another installment of The Bronsexual Confessions.
Confession. I hadn't planned on it. Then last night happened. Then the excuses happened.
That was all from last night.
Screw it.
That was all from last.
That was all from last night.
From last night. Wow. Okay.
That was all from last night. Listen, I was gonna call you and say, "Look, I'm not feeling good. I'm gonna take the day off." But then my wife got in my head and said, A, you have a $2 billion show to build, and B, you can't pass this up. And she showed me the box score from the Laker game. She didn't even watch basketball anymore. And she showed me that box score. And said, you can't pass this up.
What is amazing about that is the final score was not indicative of the butt whooping the Mavs put on the Lakers last night. It was not.
43 first quarter points.
They had mercy on the Lakers. They're like, Oh, you all
Yeah,
trash. I'm so
they took the
sorry.
final quarter off.
I mean, they put up
Took the
43
final
to
quarter off.
yeah. They put up 43 the first quarter, 39 the second. I'm like, man, they trying to run this team completely out the gym. 82 points and a half. I'm like, yeah.
I just wish that they would have scored 160 at the rate they were scoring. And Sick Dicky, you filed for this, but you're also true. At this rate, the Lakers would have to move back to Minneapolis if they want to win another championship, because they're sure not winning one in Los Angeles with LeBron in tow.
I would root for them if they move back to Minneapolis.
When you allow 43 points, wait a minute, I can stop my sentence right there. They allowed 48 in Phoenix in the first quarter.
They have a tendency to not come out the tunnel ready to actually play defense. It is mind-boggling how they just simply do not give a crap on that end of the floor from tip-off. And I'm saying to myself, I thought this is when you're the freshest. I mean, considering we're talking about old legs, this is when you're the freshest. Yet you all are really putting on that old man mentality and saying, well, we're going to turn on when we want to. All right. At your peril, but please do. Please do.
And now that I have a better system, hear me and hear me well. LeBron James has had the NBA by the balls, by the throat, handcuffed, shackled, tied to a chair, duct taped, thrown against the wall, injected with poison for 20 years and has not done a thing with it.
You make it sound as though LeBron is having a sexual relationship with the NBA.
Look at my face.
I mean, you might as well say this is the 50 Shades of LeBron.
Try 100. Try 100. Oh, God. Get out of my head, Seawood. Just wait till Bronny is traded to the league on draft day. They will need to sign the ghost of George Mikan to win the Larry O'Brien Trophy. Man, everybody's dropping the mic this morning.
Let's sign the ghost of George Mikan.
The ghost of George Mikan.
Oh my gosh.
Oh heavens. I love it. I love it.
I'm loving.
absolutely love it.
I'm loving the love that the chat's bringing, because you guys are bringing it hard, and I'm loving it. And I'm loving the fact you're dropping too, man. I think what I'm loving more than anything is the fact that, and I said this on Cold Sports even a couple of years back, what you're seeing today is you're seeing bronzesexuals poisoning the well of Lakers Nation, because now they're bleeding into one another to where you almost cannot tell the difference with most people between if they're a Lakers fan or if they're bronzesexual.
I've never. Okay.
Now, I know some who are Lakers fans and they don't really subscribe to what the bronzesexuals think about. I do know of some.
Right.
But man, they are becoming fewer and further between.
What's the song? Blurred Lines. Blurred lines like a sump right now, okay? I mean, there are 18,797 spots available for Laker fans. And you would swear that 80% of them, and I'm being generous, quit.
Hey, hey, hey. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Blur lines.
Oh gosh. As Bugs Bunny would say best, me and my big fat.
Oh man.
Oh my heavens, I love it. I love it.
I was letting you cook. I was like, oh, I'm gonna sing blurred lines underneath when he cooks. So I'm gonna let him do his thing. I'm just gonna rock the blurred lines.
You still may have that chance to do that.
Oh my gosh.
You still may have the chance to do that. Let's go to hour 2.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up?
Grant with that jump shot's off. Long rebound run down by Hodges, and here's the King. That's a 3.
This is Snowman in the morning.
Hey, this promises to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait. Are you kidding me? Do you believe it?
Oh. I'm sorry. Sorry, I was getting my rock front man on for a second. Damn, sorry.
I know, but it's your fault you put that song in my head. Now I can't help but use it on any and everything. Doggone it.
Oh man.
You know what, Siggy? I did that in 2016.
Oh no, I haven't heard that.
Ladies and gentlemen, due to an unfortunate delay, Fearless Freak will be unable to perform his high diving act today. What? Oh gosh. You don't want to hear me hoot and holler like Yosemite Sam. I have to be careful when I do that voice. I have to be careful.
Oh my gosh, I haven't heard
because
that.
You know the one thing that a comedian said, Yosemite Sam came just as close to swearing on every Bugs Bunny episode. Imagine if he cut loose.
Imagine so Yosemite Sam cut loose. Oh no.
Imagine if Yosemite Sam invoked his George Carlin.
Good Lord. That would be messed up.
Well, but these bronzexuals are stupid. These bronzexuals are. Don't say it. Don't say it.
Devoid of brain matter?
Thank you.
Oh, no problem.
I had something else in mind, but devoid of brain matter works.
I know. Suckers was at the end of the word. I know.
You all should hear my impression of Dikembe Mutombo. My voice hoarse.
Oh, no, no, no.
No. All right, let's go to the Michael Scott Insurance video chat and welcome Scoop Miller. Talk some in. NCAA basketball. Good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning, Snowman. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Living the dream, enjoying some March Madness, and just enjoying every minute.
$1979 in Terre Haute, Indiana. 2022 March went mad in Bridgeport, Connecticut. I have never seen a basketball game, let alone a women's basketball game, turn out like that. It took 2 overtimes decided for Connecticut. Incredible.
That really was. That was, you talk about instant all-time classics. That might have been it right there. I think that game had a lot of hype leading up to it, but I think it probably exceeded all that and then some. Just a fantastic game that both teams wanted that so badly.
It was tied at 61 at the end of regulation. So you had to figure overtime, the way these two teams played their hearts out for 4 quarters. So you had to figure overtime. But Paige Beckers, who had only 4 points in the first half, comes out of nowhere with 23 in the second half and overtime. And that jump shot of hers is as fundamentally sound as it is smooth.
It really was. They had to be scratching their head in NC State because they defended her, I thought, very well. But anytime, they slipped underneath the screen, they gave her an inch of space. She was just money. I mean, she had 8 straight there. So I think she finally missed her last shot there in the second half. But you can see why, she's returning player of the year from a season ago. But again, overcoming a lot of adversity, a lot of injuries. But what a gutty performance. And it couldn't have came at a better time for on that squad.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Scoop Miller joining us here on the program. Alyssa Kanane showed me an old school post game that I hadn't seen in a while, because every time they got it to her in the post, she didn't think about facing up a la Jack Sigma. No, she wanted to back people down. And I think she had 4 3-point plays Monday night.
Yeah, I think you're right. And that's something you don't see in this day and age anymore, the way the game has changed. But I think that was something that was probably a part of the game plan, something they thought they could maybe go to. But who would have ever thought they're going to come up with the points down that they did? And as you mentioned, able to get the N1 multiple times.
Yeah, and that should have been a Final Four game or a championship game, the way everybody, fan and media included, was into it on Monday night. But 14 straight Final Fours for Gino Auriemma. And Scoop, you and I talked about it off the air, Cole and I on the air. There's just something about Gino Auriemma that can just will his team out, basically out of any jam. They were in a few jams on Monday night against North Carolina State.
Yeah, no question, Bob. The thing that's hard to put a price on is the fact that they play with so much confidence. They have so much belief, and then they back that with an unmatched work ethic. And that team just refuses to let go of the rope, no matter what the odds are. You remember some of our conversations, Snowman, back in January. That's when UConn was not ranked in the top 15, and they're kind of below the radar. But we kept talking about this is the team that you have to be aware when March Madness rolls around. Right now they've got 14 consecutive wins. I think they've won 20 of their last 21 ball games. I mean, they're peaking at the right time, which Gino has an act for doing, as we all know. What a track record he's had. I think this is his 22nd Final Four. And again, he's coaching at a program that only had 1 winning season before his arrival. So what he's done there with that team and what he continues to do year in, year out, it's just incredible.
Speaking of incredible, I had no trust nor faith in North Carolina or Kansas because of the inconsistency they've shown throughout the season. Yet Kansas wins the Big 12, gets in. North Carolina gets in as an 8 seed. And here they are in New Orleans. Incredible run for both teams.
It really is. And I think you hit the nail on the head there, Snowman. Inconsistency is probably a great way to describe, especially North Carolina. I mean, they've had so many ups and downs. They lost to Duke, for example, by 20 points early in the ACC season. And then they turn around and they beat them. Coach K's final game there at Cameron there, and they win by 13. Team that has showed signs of being brilliant, but they've also had some struggles. But to get where they are at this juncture, I mean, with 9 losses, I think, on the season, just a real tribute to what Coach Davis has done in his first.
Absolutely. Special players that they have. All right. Time for some predictions as you guys Monday night, championship night. I will be out of surgery by then. I am going to make my pick right now. I actually revealed it yesterday. Men's Final Four sees Villanova, Duke, North Carolina, and Kansas. The team that I have of those 4 winning it all, I'm going with Villanova. I'm going with the scepter of Raleigh Massimino. I'm going with the Wildcats.
Yeah, that's hard to argue that. Wow, what a great job they've done there, and they seem to be again picking up some steam at the right time. I'm gonna go against my head a little bit, but I've got Duke. That's a team that's kind of been, and we talked about that, back in January as well. The fact that was a team I thought was going to be a sleeper coming in, and that was my pick from the get. But I think some of that Coach K's last season, not just from his players trying to go out on a high note for him, but I think a lot of people rooting for Coach K. And sometimes, sometimes when you get that call that comes down, it can go either way. Sometimes Coach K might be the guy that's going to get that big call. So I've got them. I got them winning, but it's certainly going to be a tough task. But the fact they've gotten this far, speaks volumes of program Coach K's had for so many years.
It would be just perfect for Coach K to go out with a championship, and I'll applaud either way. Any of these 4 teams, I'll applaud whoever wins on Monday night. The men's Final Four is in New Orleans. Women's Four is in Minnesota. And the women's Final Four. I think we lost our guest, but thank you, Scoop Miller, for coming in. Oh, we got him. Hold on. I'm sorry about that, Scoop. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're right. The women's Final Four, Minneapolis, you kind of cut out there on me, but I'm going to go on the women's side. I'm going with Stanford. They've just seemed to surpass everybody's expectations every year. Tara Vanderveer, one of those coaches like K has just done so many things. That semifinal matchup with UConn is going to be a classic. I know that Stanford is only 3-9 Geno time, and certainly that's going to play in a little bit. But Stanford, I think they've won 24 straight. These are the 2 hottest teams in college basketball. They're going to duke it out there in the semifinals coming up on Saturday. And I think that's going to be another one for the ages, a game that you're certainly, if you go to the refrigerator to get something during commercial, you want to hurry back. You're not going to miss any of that.
Absolutely. Enjoy the Final Fours this weekend, my friend. Scoop Miller joining us to talk some college basketball. We've picked our champions. Who are your champions? The show at official SIT Morn. Thank you, Scoop. I love you, brother. Thank you so much.
Hey, love you too. Many prayers, Snowman. Enjoy your day. Have an amazing week.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Sorry about the technical technical mishap, folks. But you know what? Anybody could win these national championships. Anybody can win these national championships. I'm just going to let it play out. I've made my predictions. Villanova for the men, Connecticut for the women, but any of the final four on both sides can win. This is the year, like I said, forget 1979 in Terre Haute, Indiana at Indiana State. This is the year March went mad.
Mm-hmm.
We have been requested because Sam just is watching with us. He said, I need someone to discuss basketball on my channel because I know nothing. I think both of us can take care of that. Sam, you're on. Both of us can take care of that.
All right.
Now, speaking of discussing basketball, we're going to discuss baseball at the bottom of the hour. Patrick Voss. Speaking,
right mind.
I got a present. I got a present for you.
Oh, you
Speaking of basketball.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it's this. I had a conversation with a Harden.
Oh no. A conversation with a Harden night. Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
What was this about?
Yeah. I had a conversation with a Harden who still seems to believe that Harden is going to be the reason Philadelphia gets to the World Championship Series.
That'll be the reason 76ers do something all right. But why does this
first round?
Possibly so. But why does this Harden night the Beardettes, or why does this Beardette think that Harden will be the reason the 76ers will win their first championship in 38 years?
Because this Hard Night said to me,
quote,
Harden is final piece of the puzzle for Joel Embiid.
Oh no. Close quote. Oh Lord.
Close.
And I'm sorry.
Quote.
And I'm sorry, 39, not 38. But really. Oh, please go further. Why does this chap think that James Harden is the final piece for Embiid to hoist that trophy? I gotta hear this.
Does the name Kendrick Perkins mean anything to you?
And that concludes the Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh, Lord, no. Oh my gosh. Really?
He repeated Kendrick Perkins.
No. Please tell me this guy actually, how can I put this? Had some foresight to have someone else inform his opinion besides Kendrick Perkins. Really? Oh my gosh. So he believed, just like Kendrick Perkins did, that when Harden got on the team, that we were looking in him and Embiid, we were looking at a Kobe and Sack connection, and then changed his mind and said, no, we're looking at a Magic Kareem connection. He believes in the same vein as Perkins in that regard.
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Which made me respond the way I'm supposed to respond.
You big dummy.
Wow.
All right. I have never been this silent. I'm trying to formulate a sentence. No, I'm trying to formulate a question,
Okay.
but I don't think I'm going to be able to help it.
Oh no.
Because my question is, what in the vinyl blue, yellow bellied, red blooded hell are you thinking?
You said that with your chest.
I sure did.
Okay, I think this is what this chap might be thinking. And I understand this because I got
before you go in,
Mhm. Mhm.
I must say this. Kendrick Perkins and Hard Nights, how can I put this succinctly? Oh yeah.
Lord.
You tripping. The floor is yours. Because if I say anything, I'll say a bad word.
All right. I believe this is what the old chap was thinking. And I understand this well because I had the chance to sit front row and watch James Harden's game for 8 years. You're looking at a guy who has the ability and the proclivity to put up these triple double stats and make those who really aren't involved in the offense look good. And you're wowed by this because Harden holds onto the ball so much. And you think, okay, well, the weight of the team falls on his shoulders, and it looks like he wants to shoulder that responsibility. And with some of these games, okay, he's shouldering it well. And then you get to games like the one at home against the Nets or the one on the road against the Suns. And then you
Where
see
he laid an egg.
And then you see the real James Harden. And I will give him last night. He did well against the Bucks, but unfortunately they didn't bring home a win. But that gives the Beardads and the Harden Knights hope because they say, well, that's a good opponent in the Bucks, and he showed up in that game. You know, similar to what we argue with LeBron with the Lakers, the 37-year-old that's doing things that we have never seen a 37-year-old do. Yet the team is getting spanked by 30, although LeBron is scoring 30. The same premise here applies with Harden. He put up 32 last night, but they lost. And it gives them hope. It makes them think
they have stolen his third straight MVP with that game-saving lock.
Yeah. See, it gives them hope. It makes them think, well, they might have a chance because if they meet in the first round, I like the Sixers' chances because Harden actually looks like he can play with Giannis. Okay, cool. I think this actually might work.
Stop. Paul, he says, hold the phone. Penalty flag on the field. Challenge flag with it. They believe what?
Remember, I'm climbing into a Harden Knight's brain. Now he's thinking because he was able to show up and actually put forth a decent performance against a tough opponent, they think, should the Bucks and the Sixers meet in the first round, they actually believe, wow, Harden can hang with Giannis, and now there's a possibility that the Sixers can beat the Bucks because that was only a 2-point L. We can handle them because Harden is hanging with Giannis, who's the two-time who's a two-time MVP. We can do this. I believe it can happen.
Can I respond, please?
Yes, sir.
May I respond, please?
Yes, sir.
Bitch, are you for real?
I wasn't going to respond that way, although I love that. My response to that is I saw it for 8 years, and from mid-October to mid-April, with a few duds in between, he will show you that he could be, stats-wise, one of the greatest players in the NBA today. But when you file that income tax, but when you file that income tax report for the year, you can see this guy disappear quicker than Houdini. Because when the playoffs happens in mid-April, the refs don't give him the benefit of the doubt. Oh, we will touch on the 11th seeded Lakers. The referees will not give him the benefit of the doubt. The defenses get tougher and harder, and they have to execute in a half-court offense. And the way Harden runs an offense, it is all ISO. No movement, no plays called, no pick and rolls, no pick and pops,
no give and goes,
no gives and goes, no backdoor cuts. No, just basically when you get to the other side of the court, just 20, or I should say just 15 seconds of him dribbling between his legs or fast or try to staccato a dribble. Anything to try to get
and his fundamentals suck. Okay, let me just put that out there. His fundamentals. Stop. Breathe. His fundamentals suck. I'll stop there because my next few words were bad ones, and I'll back off.
See, because this is what Harden Knights miss. Harden's offensive game is two things. It's either the penetration when he beats his man from the three-point circle, three-point arc into the hole to either dish to the big man or lay it up, or it is the step back travel three. And his hope, his desire, and his
step back travel. Step back travel.
And his hope, his desire, and his passion is if the shot is faulty from his hands, he wants the referee to bail him out. And for some reason, this 33-year-old still does not understand that when it comes to late April and early May and mid-May, the referees swallow that whistle because they look at you as a corny dude trying to draw a foul.
Yeah. That sounds all the way accurate. I mean, Evan Roberts from WFAN, part of Carton and Roberts. I saw his reaction live, or heard his reaction live when the Nets acquired James Harden.
Mm-hmm.
He used a description to describe his play. Dribble, 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 fat, 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 dribble, 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 no defense, no defense, no defense, dribble, shoots, always going to the line.
I was expecting the fat part. Oh my gosh.
Hey, listen, I love Carton and Roberts. Y'all know I love listening to radio shows in the afternoon, okay? I have my favorites. I have my favorites. And thank you, Seawood, for both of your statements. I have my favorites, but that one, I lost my stomach laughing. It's all factual.
Fat,
but I was laughing.
Oh my gosh. And he's right. He's right. Oh my
That's what he said. He said that live. He said that live on the air. And for those of you who catch the references that I make in your hometown to stations I listen to, that's why I make the reference, number one, because I do listen to other shows, and two, I want to incorporate what I hear, just to help our show along a little bit. But that Evan Roberts had me cracking up.
Oh my gosh.
Evan Roberts had me dying laughing.
But this is what Hard Knights miss. There
you go. WFAN.
This is what Hard Knights miss. The guy drains the life out of your own offense and makes it easier for a defense to stop you. It is easier. to pay attention and focus on one person who is not conducting any movement whatsoever, is not making the ball move,
None.
and all they can do is just train their eyes on this guy, and the only trick he can pull is trying to draw a foul. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, sir. I know you've heard this expression, I believe, but they say that if you're going to be active on defense, the only way you can beat an active defense is the ball, because the ball can move faster than any defense that some team set, that any team sets.
Just a minute.
Mm-hmm.
No. Into here. No. Yeah. Extra back. Here. Just a minute. No. No lie found.
Thank you, sir. I'm glad you searched for that.
No lie. No lie found.
I appreciate that.
And I got notebooks over here, and I got notes over here, so I made sure I looked.
Right. So if the ball, if you, then of course that. Mm-hmm. Now, saying the ball moves faster than the defense sets, that basically says that you have to be active on offense to pass. So if
Showtime Lakers, 90s Bulls, 80s Celtics, hell, Celtics back day with Bill Russell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. Better faster than the ball.
But when you have no movement, when any half-court offensive set is made, you do the opposite. You can make a defense set, and they can call so many different plays to stop Harden. But Hard Knights don't see that. They just see the fact that the dude can do triple doubles. And see, Wood, as a fellow Rockets fan, I agree with every single syllable you have said, sir. Every single one of them.
I gotta put this up, and I love you, C. Wood, as a Rockets fan. I'm so happy today. Love that we shaved the beard, and future looks bright. It does,
and the future does look
it
bright.
Does. Now, and go back to the old school Rockets, and I'll be good.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
Which I wouldn't complain, but
no.
The 76ers now have exactly the same thing.
A problem.
That C. Wood and I, as Rockets fans, saw for 8 years. You're going to see a guy who you're going to say, you are supposedly one of the top 5 players in the league. You were an MVP in 2018. You once led a team to 65 wins, but you don't do bubkis in the playoffs. Or if you do bubkis, it's so paltry that it doesn't matter. What is wrong with you?
65 wins. Okay. 65 wins. We're talking 2018. Just a minute.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let me get my fact book here. Okay. 16, 17, 18.
Mm-hmm.
Here it is. 2018. Rockets 65 wins. Warriors 58 wins.
Mm-hmm.
Rockets home court advantage. Western Conference Finals.
And to bolster that point too, the Rockets of the regular season beat the Golden State Warriors 2 out of 3. I'm sorry,
3 out of 3. Yeah. Okay. I'm checking my fact book here. Oh, joy. 2018 Western Conference Finals. Game 1, I was on the road, so I watched Game 1 in Chicago. Game 1. Oh, looky here. Golden State won that game.
Yes, they did.
In
Houston.
3. 2, Rockets won. 3, Warriors won. 4, Rockets tied the series, but had to survive a miracle shot.
They did.
Game 5, Rockets win, but lose Chris Paul. Game 6. Let's see. What am I reading? What am I reading here? Oh, yeah. 64-25. And Harden in the second half of that game scored nothing. And by the way, game 7, L by 9.
And let's stick on game 7 for a second.
Mm-hmm.
This is a team who had home court. They fought all year for this. And on Memorial Day night, they decide to lay up more bricks in the construction service, putting up the projects.
And lay the biggest egg you've ever seen.
They missed 27 straight three-pointers. And Harden was at the center of that, chunking one brick after another from distance. And that is what the 76ers now have. They have that type of guy who doesn't care if the shots go in. He's going to continue to shoot them. And he doesn't care if others have the ability to put the shot in the bucket. He feels as though he has to be the main cog. And that will grind that team, just like it did the Rockets. And even the year he was with the Nets, just like with them, to a screeching halt.
Okay. Thank you, C. Wood. That's also in my fact book here. How you see, and you allowed Golden State to beat you at their game. Let me say that again.
Part.
Wait a minute.
That's the messed up part.
Let me go back to my fact book here. Let's see. 0 for 27 from 0 for 27 straight missed 3-point field goals. Rockets led at halftime by double digits. Sounds like a pattern. And they allowed Golden State to beat you at their game instead of you beating them at your game.
What upset me about game 7. So they knew the shots weren't falling from deep. They adjusted, and they actually attacked the weakest part of the Warriors defense, which was at that time just going up the middle, because they didn't have an answer for Clint Capella. And they continuously kept feeding Capella. Now, mind you, they did not run plays for him. It was basically all due to Harden penetrating. But they still saw this. And it got them out to a double-digit lead. And then when they came out the tunnel for the third quarter, they never went back to it.
Nope.
They decided to revert back to the 2014 version of what the Warriors were, which made it easier for the Warriors to defend the Rockets. And you have a 38-16 third quarter with the Warriors putting it on the Rockets on their home floor. That is what angers me the most about that game. Now, I tip my cap to the Warriors. They were the better team. But that is what angers me about that particular game.
And not only did they beat them at their game, putting up 38 in the third quarter.
And they ISO'd the Rockets to death in the fourth quarter. That was what was so messed up about it. They ISO'd the Rockets to death in the fourth quarter.
Death by 1,000 ISOs.
Mm-hmm.
Death by 1,000 ISOs. And what's bad, you know, what's bad or what's worse, not only was it death by 1,000 ISOs in the fourth quarter, the one man that the Rockets swore, and you've heard it, Cole, the one man that the Rockets swore would never beat them, kicked their tails in 12 minutes. I'm talking about Kevin Durant.
Yep, because he was a non-factor the first three quarters. A non-factor.
Mm-hmm.
How they made him a non-factor, that one is beyond me. But they made him a non-factor the first three quarters. The fourth quarter was the Kevin Durant show, with the sprinkling of Klay Thompson here and Steph Curry there and the Draymond Green put back there. But it was like the light switch went off for Durant in the fourth quarter. It's like, okay, boys, let's take this home, knock this team out,
on my back.
Get on my back. Yeah.
Get on my back. And I will repeat a statement I said yesterday at the top of the program.
Yeah, I totally forgot about Tucker. You're right, C. Wood.
Mm-hmm.
An underrated post defender,
Mm-hmm.
even though he was 6'5". Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I will repeat a sentence that I said about the Philadelphia 76ers.
Mm-hmm.
As long as James Harden and Daryl Morey are in tow, the Philadelphia 76ers will not sniff the Eastern Conference Finals nor the NBA World Championship Series as long as James Harden and PJ Tucker. Period.
I want to say I feel for the 76ers, but I don't. And
I don't.
And they have to understand, and I want Doc to fully be at home with this. I really do. I want him to get it in Harden's head and beard that you must feed Embiid, that you're only going to win if you feed Joel Embiid. If you don't, the team is going to go down like the Titanic. But if you do, the chances of you actually advancing is greater. I don't see that happening for whatever reason. And I wanted to because I really do believe no, not because of Harden, because of Embiid. I want Embiid to succeed because I really do like Embiid. But Harden is going to
Joel Embiid.
But Harden is going to mess all that crap up.
What did I say when the trade happened?
Oh,
would you repeat my statement, Cole, that I said when the trade happened?
Oh, you said that they ain't going to win anything, and you actually went onward to say, to punctuate your point.
Hold up. Let me get ready here.
All right.
Let me get ready here as we get ready to close things out and take
quote. If I were Joel Embiid, seeing that James Harden is on my team, I would run like Hades. Close quote. And Andrew, I believe that's why the Sixers more likely will not win, because it's too stacked at the top. It is too stacked at the top.
You know, C. Wood, I can't believe Embiid let it happen either. I can't believe it.
That second sentence, though, that's where I am with it.
It's too stacked at the top in the East also.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And I stick by my statement. If I were Joel Embiid, I'd run like.
I'm like, oh man.
Because you can't let a player like James Harden infiltrate your team and expect to win the title.
Yeah, he will miss.
He ISOs more than LeBron James does.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I said it. He ISOs more than LeBron James does. Patrick Voss will join us tomorrow. Confusion in time, and I take fault for that. But Joel Embiid, you know, I'll close with this statement for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Joel Embiid's progress towards gaining the MVP for this year has been stunted by James Harden and was snatched away from him by Giannis Antetokounmpo last night.
Here's what will boost your point. Here's what bolsters your point. The moment Harden became a Sixer, you remember before then, the 2 weeks before Harden became a Sixer, what was the talk for MVP?
Joel Embiid.
Did you hear any other name besides Joel Embiid? No.
Honestly, at that time, Joel Embiid had taken the mantle.
Yeah. There was no other person's name mentioned. for 2 weeks solid that Joel Embiid was the best player in the NBA, and if things were to stand the way it is, he would win the MVP. The moment Harden became a Sixer, we've heard
all that went bust.
Oh yeah, it went gone. We've heard Nikola Jokic could be considered the MVP. We've heard that Luka Doncic could draw some consideration, and now Giannis.
Yep. I think Giannis snatched the MVP because of that game-saving block last night.
And he has a propensity to do that.
And another player that could be mentioned for MVP ahead of Embiid is Jayson Tatum.
And people were starting to talk about him when the Celtics got it together. And when he dropped 54 and 50 in back-to-back games. Yep.
Yeah, and they don't want to celebrate him. They don't want to celebrate him with back-to-back 50s.
And the 54.
They want to celebrate.
Yeah. And the 54 was against the Nets. And it was against the Nets with a road playing Kyrie. So take that, put it in practice.
And the one statement, you know what? Oh, I will warn you right now, I am probably going to cuss in my next statement, but I have to say this. You know what a stupid fool said to me? Said,
oh no. Quote,
Jayson Tatum is not dropping 50 defending him.
Close quote.
Gonna hit him.
Bitch, are you for real?
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
You're a stupid dumbass.
So Jayson Tatum wouldn't drop 54 if Ben Simmons was defending him. Riddle me this. Does Ben Simmons play defense at all?
Well, let's be.
See, people don't like when I say that.
Well, let's put it all the way there. In 2022, scratch defense from that sentence. Does Ben Simmons play? Period.
No.
So if he's not on the court, why does it matter? It's like what you heard and I heard when we were younger. If was a fifth, we'd all be.
You got to come up with one for Ben. You got to come up with one for Ben Simmons now.
Oh Lord!
Because we're starting. Supposedly he's going to play this year. Supposedly.
Oh Lord!
Yeah. Yeah, and then this happens. Ben Simmons is a bust. Hear me well.
Ooh. You're going bust on him? Okay.
Bust. Bust. Like a bad hand in blackjack, like a bad hand in poker, like LeBron James after 2010. Bust. Now, tomorrow, I will explain why Ben Simmons is a colossal, utter failure as a basketball player.
And that, my friends, is what you call a tease.
All right. There's a puppy looking at me, and I got to get out of here. So we will do this again tomorrow. And I will lead off. And let me tease once again. I will lead off with why Ben Simmons is a colossal, utter failure as a basketball player.
Oh, and check me out later today in Cold Sports. Of course, it's Wednesday. It's Brownsexual It's Bronsexual Wednesday. Bronsexual Confessions is coming, and we're going to talk about why I have proof that you bronsexuals are absolute frauds.
Oh, is that in the handbook?
I should put it in the handbook.
Yeah, you should. Put it in the handbook. Put it in the book, man.
That's what I'm going to be talking about later today on Cold Sports on YouTube. Cold Sports with a Z. Bronsexual Confessions.
Put it in the book. Put it in the book, man.
Bronsexual Confessions. While I have proof that you all are frauds. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Frauds being a very operative word.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're going to get out of here. I have some things to edit. I'm going back to sleep. I was told by my doctor I have to nap every day to keep my strength going, especially before surgery. So to everyone who tuned in and commented, thank you very much. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And Cole, always remember,
if your dreams don't scare you, then they're not big enough.
Dream big, do bigger. We're out of here. See you tomorrow.
Out.